Hi, Math here, and why does my Marian look different? The 1.2 livestream of Persona 5 The Phantom X finally addressed the players' hard-hitting concerns about the game, and good on P5X Global for increasing the maintenance compensation from 100 to 300 meta jewels, because I'm going to need every piece of it for Makoto, knowing that I'll lose to Morgana again. While we still don't have any use for this exchange code, the livestream rewards were sent automatically through in-game mail with another 300 meta jewels. To top it off, P5X Global gave us 10 premium character and weapon pools, which I know Morgana will also eat. With all of these compensations, why are players still feeling mixed about the game? 1.2 already has the same amount of rewards and pool currency gained according to verified data miners. P5X Global even made Joker and Yusuke skins permanent in shop. They also addressed that moving forward, the English livestream will release simultaneously with the JP server. Why are players still not satisfied with the handling of Persona 5 The Phantom X? It's because of Marian. Her pickup banner ended with the launch of version 1.2. She was only available for around 14 days and a lot of players weren't able to get her. The shortened spawn would have been fine, since Marian in other servers is included as a possible 5-star character in the standard banner. So even if you weren't able to pull Marian, there's still a chance to get her in the standard Kaido drop. The only problem is, here in Global, she won't be added there for at least 6 months. Now, this situation doesn't totally point to P5X Global being stingy with future 5-star standard characters, as they provided a reasonable explanation, saying that they want to act out of consideration of players who use their premium tickets and meta jewels during the most wanted period for Marian for at least 6 months. Of course, this statement wasn't well received, especially after knowing that in other servers, Marian was instantly added in the standard draft after her most wanted banner ended. Players will always compare the differences between the regions, and that is the most glaring fact that P5X Global needs to accept. Secondly, as someone who pulled for Marian, I really won't feel down if Marian was instantly added in the standard draft. In fact, I would welcome it more, as even though her banner ended, I can still potentially get her copies. And I know other players who have her would also try pulling for her in the standard banner, which means that P5X Global can actually earn more by letting Marian be included immediately in the standard banner. Even players who weren't able to get her will surely try pulling her in the standard banner, especially after learning that Marian is the strongest DPS in Metro of Desire, despite being a healer. So, what gives? If there's actually more positives in adding Marian immediately in the standard pool, why did P5X make this decision? Is it really just out of consideration? Is it using FOMO? Or is it beyond that? I personally think that P5X Global is re-evaluating their whole strategy in releasing future 5-star standard characters. And I strongly believe that it won't take 6 months for Marian to be formally included in the standard draft. Here's why P5X will change its 5-star standard character strategy. But before that though, if you're having fun counter-tanking with Yusuke, then like this video and join Atao Define for more P5X content.
お前らいいコンビじゃね
そんなことはない
Marian or Minami will be added in the standard Phantom Idol drop sooner than we think. While P5X Global's initial decision to delay Marian's inclusion in the standard banner is a head-scratcher, this wasn't done solely on triggering FOMO. Fear of missing out is an effective psychological strategy to get gacha gamers to pull for limited characters. However, a study published in 2024 proved that using FOMO is actually bad at retaining players, which is not something live service games would want. As much as possible, gachas want to have a thriving and active player base. And depending on FOMO to attract whales, the big spenders in gacha games, would actually deter that strategy. Consensus players are actually the type of gamers gachas are aiming for. These players are the kinds who plan their spending in online games. The reason why a lot of gachas fizzle out after its first month of release is because whales have left them to dry, and those who are left are typically non-spenders enjoying the game through its last days. This is not to say that successful gacha games don't use FOMO or don't have whales, but most of their revenues are actually earned by conscientious players. These players are the types who plan their pulls ahead, based on character kits, pool economy, and the overall enjoyment of the game. You might have heard them in other names, being called as dolphins or even goldfishes. These players are subscribed to the game's battle passes and monthly passes. They are also the ones who play the game on a daily basis and consume all event content. And the most important thing, these conscientious players are the reason why gacha games and other live service games stay afloat. And this is the type of player that P5X Global actually wants, but miscommunicated with. Now, going back to their reasoning that they want to protect the players' interest by providing value to their premium pools, it actually backfired since conscientious players aren't concerned about those. They tend to observe more on factors like how generous is this gacha? Am I going to earn the needed currency per patch so I can pull for this upcoming character? What is the rate of soft pity? Is this character going to be meta? How bad is the power creep? Should I really get Chocho? These questions determines whether or not they'll stay for a long term or deep after a month. P5X need these types of players, especially since the best content that they have isn't here yet. They need to ensure that in the coming months, these dolphins or goldfishes are still on board because P5X's greatest asset will be unveiled to the whole world with the introduction of the third palace. But right now, we can see players are slowly decreasing. I've talked in the last video how P5X Global can make a comeback with player empowerment. While the livestream did a lot of positives such as the maintenance and livestream compensation, it wasn't enough to fully convince the other players. Thankfully, with what we saw in the live stream, it seems that P5X Global is willing to listen and adjust. Additionally, there's a lot of things left out in the English version of the live stream that weren't fully translated. P5X actually said that the 6 months waiting time for future 5-star standard characters aren't set in stone. They also said that they are taking everyone's opinions seriously regarding their inclusion, which means they are willing to adjust their strategy for Marian, and there's a high possibility that we will see her earlier than the 6 months period. More importantly, this points that for future 5-star standard characters, they won't have the same treatment as Marian had in 1.1. I guess they really had a serious talk concerning the game's health in 1.1, then maneuvered instantly as we see them making the statements and changes for P5X Global, which is again a good sign that SEGA is willing to change and side with player empowerment. Despite what the Doom posters are saying, P5X Global is changing for the better. Now, if we're going to see some changes for future 5-star standard characters, how is P5X going to implement them? One of the most effective ways they can convince gamers that P5X Global and SEGA are in the side of the players is by including Marian in the standard banner starting 1.3. Considering that in other servers, Marian was actually added in 1.3. This move will be seen as fair for the other regions, as well as respecting the value of premium tickets of those who pulled per Marian in 1.1. If Marian is finally added in the Phantom Idol draft and also her cognitive piece in Lupul's plan, then players will naturally return, as again, a community that is heard and respected tend to show massive support. Another way they can do this is setting up all future 5-star standard characters to be included in the standard draft all in one go during the half anniversary of P5X Global. By that time, we're going to see 2 to 3 standard characters being added in the banner. The only downside for this is it would take longer for Marian to join. Hence why I really think they should just stick with following the schedule of other servers' version. Like again, if Marian was added in the standard banner in 1.3, then the other standard characters should also be added in the same manner. Then if they want to entice more people to pull for them, even though these characters are going to be added in the standard pool, then releasing them with their best teammates should be the strategy. For example, with this future standard character, have Yusuke rerun since he is his best teammate in the game. For now, if we really want to see these changes happening, then we should submit our feedbacks to SEGA SEGA and P5X Global. We've already seen how our feedbacks were answered in 1.2 livestream, and they mentioned that they are going through other concerns as well. Maybe they'll adjust the soft PD from 70 to 65. They might also change the release of characters so that we can properly save more, such as making banners run even longer. Because again, P5X, despite the situation with the whole gacha system, is still an amazing Persona game. If you're curious why Persona 5 The Phantom X is more than just a gacha game, then check this video out. Join Otaku to Find for more Persona content. This is Math, and stay awesome my dudes.